Hey friends, thanks for joining me for our first Wednesday night story time. Tonight we're going to be reading from the Mighty series about how Daniel overcame the lion's den. Long ago in the kingdom of Babylon lived a king by the name of Darius. King Darius had a friend by the name of Daniel. Daniel was loved by God and favored by the king. King Darius trusted Daniel with all high responsibilities in the kingdom. The king admired Daniel so much he had made plans to place him in charge of the entire kingdom. The other kingdom officials were jealous of Daniel and his favor with the king. They gathered together to plot against Daniel. They searched and searched but could find no fault in Daniel. He was faithful to the king, very responsible and trustworthy. Our only chance is to destroy Daniel is to attack his religion, they concluded. The jealous and very evil high officers presented their case to the king. "Live long, King Darius," they cried. "All of your kingdom officials have come together in agreement that the king should make a law to be strictly enforced. Establish a new decree that anyone who prays to any god or human other than you be put in the den of lions. Your Majesty, sign this law that cannot be canceled or changed." So King Darius signed the agreement. When Daniel found out about the law that had been signed, he went home to pray as he usually did. He knelt down as usual in his room upstairs with the windows open towards God's holy city, Jerusalem. Daniel prayed 3 times a day and gave thanks to God. There was no law in the land that would keep him from pleasing God and doing what was right. These evil officers knew Daniel would be praying, so they went to check up on him. They found Daniel kneeling, asking God for help. The men went back to the king and reported what had happened. "Did you not make a decree, Your Majesty, that anyone who prays to any god or human other than you would be thrown into the lion's den?" King Darius answered, "The decree stands according to the law of this kingdom. This man Daniel pays no attention to you or your decree that you've put in writing. He still prays to his God 3 times a day," they explained. The king was upset by the news he had heard from his officials. He was determined to rescue Daniel and make every effort to save him from the lion's den. At sundown, the evil kingdom officials went to King Darius and said, "Remember, honorable King Darius, that any decree that the king has made cannot be changed according to the Medes and Persian laws." The deeply saddened king had no other choice but to throw Daniel into the lion's den. Before they threw Daniel into the den, the king said to him, "May the God you trust and serve so faithfully rescue you." They threw Daniel into the den and placed a stone over the entrance to make sure he wouldn't escape. As the stone sealed the cave, Daniel looked around to see all the lions around him. His faith never wavered. The king returned back to his palace and spent the night fasting. He refused to let any palace musicians play their music as they usually did. He had no peace and was not able to sleep that night. Very early the next morning, the king rushed out of the palace to get to the lion's den. When he got there, he yelled out, "Daniel, servant of the living God, was your God able to rescue you from the fierce lions?" Daniel answered, "Long live the king. My God has sent his angel to shut the mouths of the lions so they couldn't hurt me. I was found innocent in God's sight, and I have done no wrong to you, Your Majesty." The king was so happy to hear the good news. He demanded Daniel be released from the den. Not one scratch was found on him because he put his trust in God. Then the king gave orders to arrest the men that accused Daniel. As punishment, he had them thrown into the lion's den. King Darius released this decree to all people of every race, nation, and language throughout the world. I decree that everyone throughout my kingdom should tremble with fear before the God of Daniel. He is the living God. He will live forever. His kingdom cannot be destroyed and will never end. He rescues his people and performs miracles in the heavens and on earth. He rescued Daniel from the fierce lions. And the king restored Daniel to honor and leadership. Even after all these years, King Darius' decree stands true. God still rescues his people and performs miracles every day. Isn't it awesome that we know a God who's stronger than the lions and who loves you so much that he'll be with you no matter what, just like he was with Daniel? I hope you enjoyed our story time and that you'll come back next week and listen to our next story. Don't forget this Sunday, Ridge Runners with Mr. Nathan at 10 o'clock.
Hey guys.
We'll see you then. Love you.
Good night.